What up? I said, what up? What's going on, y'all? Chillin', chillin', chillin'. I don't usually do NBA videos, but this false narrative been going on. Did I use the correct word? Narrative? But this have been going on for the longest about LeBron James from the LeBron James haters. He can't survive back in the 90s, in the Jordan era, which is 1000% false. I think LeBron James would be even better than he is right now because of the defense. Whoa! What do you mean the defense, Jive? The defense right now is soft. The NBA is soft. Nobody plays defense. Everybody was rougher and tougher, and they used to get hand check back in the day. Oh my goodness. Have you guys ever played basketball? Have you guys ever been hand checked while facing your opponent? No. Hand checking usually affects the person that has his back towards his opponent, has his back towards the basket. Shaquille O'Neal, maybe. Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, maybe. Even Jordan used to get hand checked because he used to do the get the ball, the little lean. That's when you could put your hand on the person and hand check them. And then he would just dribble, fade away. But that's neither here nor there. The reason why I say LeBron James would be even better in the 90s is because it was a man-to-man league. What do you mean, Jive? Of course it was a man-to-man league, and the defense was rougher and tougher, and everybody was stronger. Name somebody that isn't a center that played in the 90s that's actually stronger, bigger and stronger than LeBron James. And please don't say Anthony Mason. I mean, Anthony Mason was a big guy, but do you think he could guard LeBron James man-to-man? Charles Oakley was a big guy, but do you think he could have guarded LeBron James man-to-man? Name somebody that really could have guarded LeBron James man-to-man in the league. Scottie Pippen could. Scottie Pippen could. Come on with the dumb shit. Scottie Pippen would have got toasted just like everybody else that tries to guard LeBron James. Kawhi Leonard is supposed to be this greatest of all time perimeter defender. LeBron James averages 25 plus points per game against Kawhi Leonard. And I'm positive it wasn't man-to-man. They probably threw all kinds of defensive looks at him. And I have to mention the 6 assists that he averages against Kawhi Leonard because that's one of my main points about the man-to-man defense in the 90s. Man-to-man defense in the 90s was toast. Michael Jordan was way ahead of his time. Do you guys agree? Or do you think he's just a 90s player? I think his offensive game belonged in the 2000s. Like, I don't think he could be stopped by a man-to-man. I don't think he could be stopped by a double team or a zone. Jordan was just too smart for that. But we'll get back to Michael Jordan a little later. Now, let's be fair. Is LeBron James bigger, faster, and stronger than 80% of the players in the 90s? And I'm talking about the whole package, bigger, faster, and stronger. And if it's a player bigger and stronger, he's faster. And if it's a player faster, he's bigger and stronger. And if it's a player stronger, he's probably bigger and faster, if that makes sense. So let's just get rid of the he wouldn't survive because it was too physical. LeBron James flops. LeBron James flops. Well, Vlade Divac flops. Reggie Miller flops. They survived the 90s, didn't they? So what makes you think LeBron James can't survive in the 90s? All right, I'll give you that. He probably could survive in the 90s, but you said something else. You said he would actually be better in the 90s. Can you explain why? Okay, LeBron James being better in the 90s. Why did I say that? I think LeBron James would be much better in the 90s because of the man-to-man defense. He would just get the ball on the perimeter because he doesn't have a good coach, clear it out, and then play isolation ball until you double team him. And you know exactly what he'll do if they double team him, right? He would find the open man for the easy bucket. And don't act like you're going to double team him and don't do it. You know, y'all remember that from back in the 90s. Don't act like you're going to double team and don't do it. Don't wait for him in the lane because you have to follow your guy if they cleared it out. If you didn't commit to the double team, if you even acted like you wanted to breathe on Jordan and didn't do it, they called illegal defense.
What? Hold on, time out. What the fuck is illegal defense, Jive?
I thought your ugly ass would never ask. See, back in the day, it was a man-to-man league, and you had to play your man. You couldn't wander off and wait for the person with the ball to drive, and you're just waiting there for them. It was none of that. You had to stay arm's length with your player that you're guarding. Arm's length. So say you're guarding Shaquille O'Neal, and Shaquille O'Neal walks up to the three-point line. You had to go to the three-point line with him and guard him. You know damn well Shaquille O'Neal isn't hitting a three, so you're not going to really guard him, right? But in these rules, you had to stay with him or go and double team the guy with the ball.
So with that being said, I would just double team LeBron James.
And with that being said, Shaquille O'Neal would just cut to the basket, LeBron James would pass him the ball, and it's an open dunk. I know what you're about to say. If it was that easy, everybody would have been doing it out of the double team in the 90s, passing it to the open man for an open dunk. Name somebody in the 90s that isn't a pure point guard that found the open man better than LeBron James. So let's be realistic for a second. Do you think any opposing coach would send their center to come and double team LeBron James? The slowest person on the court? No. They would probably double team him from somebody like a forward or a guard, and he would find a guard who would take 2 dribbles up and hit a mid-range jump shot. And now imagine this. Imagine there was no Michael Jordan, but LeBron James was playing in the 90s. Would he be considered the GOAT?